What a thrill it was for our All God's People production team to visit with one of the most delightful octogenarians in the Seventh-day Adventist Church at her hilltop home in Loma Linda, California. Hi, I'm Connie Vandeman Jeffrey, and this is All God's People. I don't know about you, but I've been eating entrees and yummy culinary creations from the An Apple a Day cookbook since I was 12 years old. First published in 1967, Apple a Day celebrates its 55th anniversary this year. How many Sabbath dinners over the years have featured special K-loaf, the quintessential Apple a Day recipe? Well, for me, it must be hundreds of them in the past 5 decades. Meet Georgia Hodgkin, the dietitian extraordinaire and editor of volumes 2 and 3 of the iconic An Apple a Day cookbook series, which has significantly influenced multiple generations of Adventist food culture. Though the editors of Volume 1, where the famous special K-loaf recipe first appeared, were Marcella Griggs and Marguerite Smith, Georgia Hodgkin was instrumental not just in editing Volumes 2 and 3, but through her involvement in the whole series. Apart from her work as a professor of nutrition and dietetics at the School of Allied Health Professions at Loma Linda University for 42 years, she became a prominent voice in the vegetarian nutrition space during a time when vegetarianism was not only thought to be insufficient for good health, but outright quackery.
I was asked to do Apple a Day 2 by Judy Murdoch when she was president of the auxiliary. Apple a Day started in 1967, which is when people said vegetarian diets are crazy. You can't possibly be healthy on a vegetarian diet. Well, history, science, Adventist health study has shown we are healthy on those crazy diets, and we kind of enjoy them. And at the time, the American Dietetic Association was emphasizing less salt, less sugar, less fat in the diet. So Apple a Day 2 is full of 500 recipes different from Apple a Day 1. And those Apple a Day 2 recipes have less fat, less salt, less sugar. In fact, the desserts have 2 teaspoons of sugar per serving, which is phenomenal.
Published by the Loma Linda University Medical Auxiliary, Georgia described for us the process by which she and the other registered dietitians on the committee selected the recipes for Volume 2.
We would meet in the alumni building around this huge conference table with a huge mound of scraps of paper with recipes on them. And we'd pull one out, somebody would read it. Yeah, I think that looks good. They were all dietitians, so they knew that it was low fat, whatever, it would work. One of the most interesting recipes we came across was one that said, make this casserole and hide a 1-inch cube of pork in the middle of the casserole. Needless to say, that recipe went in the circular file. Yeah.
What we loved about our conversation with Georgia was her delightful sense of humor and her passion for good nutrition and great recipes. Georgia described the significance of Volume 3, which celebrated the centennial of the School of Medicine in 2009.
Volume 3 looks at the history of the School of Medicine, the auxiliary, and the country. So it's divided into decades, and it has a little historical piece at the beginning of each decade, but it lists the presidents of the auxiliary, the significant events in the country's history, significant events for the university, has pictures.
Georgia describes some of her favorite recipes from all 3 of the Apple a Day cookbooks, and she even baked a loaf of her favorite banana bread to share with us.
Well, I really enjoy the banana bread recipe from Volume 1. Volume 3, the chocolate chip recipe, is, I call it a health cookie. It's full of walnuts, it's full of oatmeal, it's good for you. And there's a broccoli cheese in Volume 2 casserole that's really quite tasty. But the favorite recipe of all 3 cookbooks is Special K Loaf. That's from Betty Jutsi. And I envision Sabbath dinner throughout North America. There are cottage cheese loaves sitting on everybody's buffet table, thanks to Betty. These cookbooks are a good choice to purchase for a vegetarian cookbook. They speak to many of the principles that Ellen White spoke to that other cookbooks are completely oblivious of. The recipes are simple, there are few ingredients, they're easy to make, ingredients are readily available. I recommend everybody needs a copy of Apple a Day in their kitchen. Volumes 1, 2, and 3.
It's no wonder these cookbooks became so popular. Not only were they a staple in many Adventist kitchens, but they were popular gifts for showers, weddings, birthdays, and housewarmings. Volume 1 sold over 200,000 copies from 1967 to 1991. Unbeknownst to many, the Apple a Day cookbook series plays an important role in supporting medical missions, as all sales benefit mission programs, a key function of the Loma Linda University Medical Auxiliary. And now, are you wondering how you can buy a copy? Well, don't look on eBay or Amazon. The prices for used copies are exorbitant. We have information about how you can order directly from the auxiliary in the description box. Also, look for a feature article about Georgia Hodgkin in the upcoming August Recorder. And Apple a Day cookbooks are a part of my DNA as a Seventh-day Adventist, and Georgia Hodgkin is an Adventist treasure. Thank you, dear Georgia, for opening your home and your heart to us. God's richest blessings on you as you continue to serve Him. For all God's people, I'm Connie Jeffrey.